Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you how to make this beautiful earring. Now, this is kind of big. You could probably use it as a pendant as well. Um, so I have a wire guard to attach it. This way you can take it off and put it on a jump ring with a chain. But this turned out so beautiful. So these are these beautiful angel beads that I got from Kath from England. She sent me a bunch of, tons of stuff. And of that stuff, this was one of the ones she sent me. And this is gorgeous because it has two sides to it. So the other side is like a silver um, uh, finish on it, and this side is gold. So I thought I didn't want to just put them on a head pin and stick them on a ear wire. I wanted to do something really special with them, and this is what I came up with. So let's take a look at the back side of it too. So even if it flipped around, you could, if you had these are connectors, and I got these on AliExpress some time ago. I'm sure they still sell them. And I've had them forever. I haven't used them on anything, so I thought this would be a good way to use this. But you could, if you had silver ones of these, you could put the silver ones along with the gold, and you could put silver findings here as well, like the gem duos, and create kind of a silver side too. But the point I want to make of turning this around is you can actually, if your earring gets flipped around, it's not gonna be that much of a difference. You can still see how beautiful that angel bead is. And I thought this would be kind of interesting for this time of the holidays to do. So let's go ahead. It's super simple to do. It's just kind of getting the tension correct in here. And what I've done to help with that, so this is actually pretty stable now, but when I was making it, it was really flippy floppy. I used these 3 millimeter bugles to really kind of stabilize these connectors. So yeah, it turned out pretty good. So let's get going. So how I started with the bottom. Oh, let me talk about the supplies. So I have 2 bugles. So I mean, you have to double everything if you're doing earrings. If you're doing a pendant, you just need a set of what I'm going to show you. So the 2 bugles. I have some 11/0 round check silk light gold beads, and they're like a matte finish. And I have the equivalent of the gem duos. You just need 3 for each one. And this is what I wanted to talk to you about. These are 6 millimeter 2-hole beads, and they are lovely. And I have a whole tray of all these different color ones of these, and I never use them, but you know what? They're so amazing because it really opens up your options on what you can do with them. So I just want to see if, oh yeah, that's fine. I'm checking the image on the camera. So this is what we're going to do. Oh, so let's talk about these guys. So these are the connectors, and if you have any type of connector, it would work with this as well. Let me see if I can find a tube bead would work as well. I have lots of them, but oh, here they are. So these tube beads would work as well. And I have silver ones, and these are super easy to get. So if you don't have, so you could do something like that. I mean, it definitely looks better with all the sparklies, of course. But, you know, you could still make some really pretty stuff. So let's put those aside. Okay, so we're going to start with these beads here. The other thing I have is the ear wires, of course. And I get all this from AliExpress, these findings. This is a gold Aurum 4mm bicone, Preciosa, your wire guardian, and a second bead. So you're going to have a bead for the top, a bead for the bottom, and this is going to help connect the two pieces. And then these, of course, go on the bottom. So we're going to start with attaching the beads to this. I have to think about this because I just figured this out. Already I'm forgetting. So I'm using size 6. I was just thinking maybe I should use green, but you know what? This should work fine. You can't see any of the threads here. I mean, you might see a bit on there, but I don't think the green would make much difference. So I pulled a wingspan, and I'm using a size 12 needle. You're going to be going through things a few times, so you want to make sure you have lots of room to get your needle through. So let's get this guy on. Okay. I used a stop bead to kind of get everything in, but I don't think you need one. And before we get going on that, these came, they're all like they're open. Sometimes they come, they're open. It's not a big deal. It's a little bit of an annoyance, but I'm going to close them up really well because you want to make sure your thread's not going to pass through any opening. So and these are super, like they are well made because they're hard to maneuver. Just do little bits at a time, gently. Close that up. There. And if you're not sure, just take your thread and go through and then pull both sides, and yeah, so that went through. So that's no good. I'm having a hard time seeing if there's an opening there. That should do it. Test it again. Pull both sides, and that's not going through. So that's good. Take that all out. So you're going to do that to all the sides. There. Open. I think there's still an opening. Let's try that one. Now, for these things, the thread is going to be sitting around here anyway at the top. So it's unlikely that you would be going through here. Yeah, and that one's closed, so that's good. So that's that one. And just be careful you don't scratch or that looks crooked. These I'm not going to be able to bend it with my hand. Who am I fooling? Enough of my tomfoolery. Okay, that looks pretty good. And let's just make sure that's in there. And the other side. So it's funny, I want to do this 30-day challenge of earrings like I did last Christmas for like an advent calendar. And I put a bunch of stuff together like potentials for earrings, and then today was my day to try and get as many of them done as possible, and then do the videos so I can release them a day at a time, not having to do them the day before, kind of thing. And I cannot believe this was my first one, and I'm already behind. I had a discussion with my wife this morning, and I told her what my plan was. I said, today and tomorrow, that's it. I'm just doing earrings. I'm going to get all 30 of them done. And she's like, oh, do you really want me to comment on that? I'm like, yeah, I want your opinion. She's like, I remember last year it didn't work out too well. Oh, gosh. She's my voice of reason. So I'm going to go through these, guys. These, the finish I find are kind of in the holes, so I want to make sure that my second hole is actually open and it's not just finish that's kind of in the way. Okay, so those two are done. Yeah, if I can remember how I did this. Okay, let's put the stop bead on. Let's not mess around. Let me bring this down a bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to put my stop bead on. You're going to leave a tail on this enough to tie off, because as soon as we go through a few times, we'll tie it off. And I think the last time I put way too much thread on the end. So probably just about that much, not a lot. So go back up through your stop bead. Okay. And what I did was I went through the wire guard from the outside, so your kind of flowery part is going to go outside. So that's what we're calling our outside. Then go through, doesn't matter which hole of your bead, it will end up being your bottom hole. So go through the first hole. Then go through the inside of the loop of the connector. I was like, I couldn't remember the name. Okay. So now I think all I did was I went back through the bead again. So go back through the bead so that you're going around that loop. So sorry about that. There we go. So my thread went through the loop, go through the bead, just hold everything there. That oh, there's the stop bead. I thought the stop bead went through. Like that. Okay, so here's my thread coming out of that bottom hole. So I'm going to go around the loop, through it, and then back again. Let me see if I can hang on to these. Try it this way. So go around the loop, through the hole. You can go through the hole on the other, or the loop on the other side. Like that. Pull it snug. And it doesn't matter that these holes are sitting below. We will pop them forward like that. It's not a big deal. Okay. So now go back through the hole of the bead and come out the other hole. Because this thread here that has the stop bead on it is inside that loop, we're going to take this thread and tie it to this, and that'll close that loop. So let's just bring that off. So you can see I have way too much thread. I didn't need that much, but I didn't want to take a chance. Don't worry about that kind of getting all scrunched together. second knot. I think I'm going to do a third. I never trust 2 knots. And this thread's pretty tiny, so okay. Nice and tight. Cut this off. Like that. Get your thread. And we're going to get that, we're going to pull that knot into the bead hole. Now let me check on this one. Okay, so I went around the loop to add the embellishment with the gem duos. So let's go through the loop. There. We might as well add those now. There, that went in the hole. Perfect. And that's going to sit forward like that. Now we can add our gem duos. So when you use 2-hole beads that are have a front and a back, if people are confused as to how to string them, I always say just put them on the mat the way you want to put them on your design, and always come through that side of the hole. So if we want these to sit like this, then we're going to come from the right side, top hole, with the bottom side down. Let me just move this down a bit. There, like that. Get the next one. And the next one. You're gonna hold that there. We're gonna go through the loop on this side, through the bottom hole, and through the loop on this side. We're going to reinforce this a few times. That. I almost didn't put these on there, and I had them out. I was like, I don't know, it kind of needs something at that bottom spot, but I'm so glad. They're so pretty. You know, it's funny, when I started beading all these lovely 2-hole beads, I was like so excited about them. Here in Canada, like, you don't see this, like, there's no very little bead stores. You can get stuff at Michael's, and that's about it. And so when I finally started ordering these, I was like, oh my gosh, these are so beautiful. Okay, so let's go through just the bead. Find that, because there's a knot there, so it's going to be snug. So just wiggle your needle around it, be fine. Try not to go through it, because you might end up closing it or opening it by accident. So you can see that's coming along lovely. I think I put my bugles in at the end, so I think we'll keep it. Yeah, once everything was attached. So let's do that then. So now we're in the bottom hole of that bead, the round bead. We're gonna step up to the top hole. Bring your thread through, and just it gets kind of looped around your opening like that. Okay. We're going to put our lovely angel. Thank you so much, Kath, for this beautiful angel. We're going to go through. And now we're going to add the top one. And we're just going to go through your first hole go through, let me see, which side are we on? Yeah. So actually, no, you know what? We're just going to put the bead on. So we've got it on like this. We're going to go back down the angel and we're going to pull it tight. So just hang it till like that. That. And I'm trying to center it on the, if you hold on to this bead and then pull your thread, it should bring it in like that. And if it's not quite centered, don't worry. We're going to go through this hole and come back up again. And you can see, so here's the hole there. And the other strand is a lot longer on this side. So don't worry, we're going to straighten that out. So now, when we went up, we came on this side. We're going to go on this side. And that's will help center it. That. And we can actually take this one here and bring it around to the middle. There. Go back through the angel. That. Okay. I'm going to go through this side. And unhook that. Okay. This is what you have so far. Now we're going to bring together the loop. So you're going to go through the loop. Like that. I'm trying to think, did I go through the top hole or the lower hole? Looks like I did both. So we can actually skip up to the top hole now. Like that. And then we're going to go through the loop on the other side. That. And let me even this out here. So I just put my needle in and pull. There. Like that. Now I put these beads around to cover the thread, and it kind of gives it like a halo look to it. So I think we'll do that again, but you don't have to. I think like there's so much lovely sparklies. Do we really need to add more? But we will, because this is baby squirrel beading. I love me some sparkle. I'll pull that tight. Don't worry about the bottom. We're going to get that all straightened out. So let's start by, we're going to go around that loop and we're going to go through the hole. There's the hole. And come out the hole on the other side. My finger got caught in that. And again, so you see how jumbly it is. Those bugles, I thought maybe it'll work, and I was surprised it worked. So now what we want to do is create a loop. So we are going to, coming out of the top hole, we're going to add 2 beads and go through the bottom hole. That. Add 2 beads. We're coming out of the bottom hole. We're going to go into the top hole. That. This also stabilizes a bit too. So now go through the 2 beads you added at the beginning, like that. Put my finger there so they don't move around. Then we are going to add, just double check, but I think we added 3 top and bottom. So there's more than that. We've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 5. So probably 4 on each top and bottom. Let's see how that works. You know, it's funny. I say this all the time. When I'm doing a design, I should record myself doing the design because I often forget what I did. Oh my god, I need help. That was a great idea. It lasted 2 seconds and I forgot. So yeah, 4. So 2 on each side, going through the top and bottom holes, then come through the beads, add 4 beads, and we're going to add another 4 now. You know, when we were kids, we used to say, "Oh, I knew, I just was testing you." It was a test. You know what? I try and say that to Jen now, my wife. She's like, many would believe you, but I don't. Okay, so we want to go through the holes again to secure that. These beads, and get that one there. Let's go to the back so we can see what we're doing here. So we'll go through the top, and this way we can start to reinforce as well with our bugle. So there, that's nice and snug at the front. So when I put the bugles in, I went through the loop so that the loop goes here, across here. So let's do that. First one. So in through the loop of the connector. You got your bugle, 3mm bugle. Go through the loop on the other side. Now we're just going to go through the bugle. That. And then go through the loop. Go through the bugle. And you can go through the loop on the other side for that one. And we're going to pull it as snug as we can get it. And look, it's getting really good. And okay, so we're going to, might as well go through one more time. Go around that loop through like that. Okay, now we are going to go down through the bottom hole, and then we're going to go through the angel. So you can see there's the top hole, there's the bottom hole. So let's go through the bottom hole like that. Go down through the angel. Sounds weird saying that. And make sure it doesn't get all tangled there. There. Go through the top hole at the base of the angel. Then make your step down to the bottom hole of that bead. There. So she ends up actually sitting in front of the, it's kind of like a cage. So I'm going to pass my thread to the back. Makes it easier to see what we're doing. Okay. Now that looks like it's hooked on something. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to let me think about this here. I want to be, I don't think it's going to matter. So go through your loop. That. Pick up your bugle. Go around to the other loop. Go through it. And that's going to position it to the front of that. Oh, sorry. Then go through the bugle. And through the loop. We're going to go through it a few times. You know, adjusting it as we go for tension. And you can go through the loop on this one. That. And go through the, just the loop, or the, sorry, just the bugle. That. I'm going to go through the loop on the connector, and I'm going to go through the bottom hole. I'm going to reinforce these. They're moving around a little, so we can reinforce those. There, it's getting really stable. Okay. Let's go through the guard, or the loop, and then through the gem duos. It's hard to get through the gem duos when they're sitting like that, because the angle of the holes are different. So you might have to go through each one. Nice and snug. And go through the loop. See if we can get through this. So this is what I was saying about going through the holes multiple times. So let's go through just the, I don't want to go through the loop on that one there. There we go. Just go through the bottom hole, and we're going to step up. So yeah, it's nice and snug now. Step up to the top hole. Go through the angel. Get my thread and my needle, because it's sitting at the front now. It's hard to get your, there we go. It didn't like that at all. My needle's like, no, I'm not going through one more time. There. And let's bring this to the front so you can see what I'm doing at the front. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go through the bottom hole like that, and then to the top hole. That. Now I am going to bring my thread through these 11O beads, and I'm going to find the center one. So I think the center one's right here. Even though we added 4, they've kind of moved around a bit. So if you look at where the angel is, it's going to be that bead. So go through this one and then the other one, like that. And I'm going to grab our 4mm gold bicone. And then our wire guard. We're going to squeeze these together. I want this to kind of sit on that bicone. So if I don't squeeze it, it's going to tilt onto the one side. So I'll just take my pliers. See if I can get them a little bit like that. Go up through the one channel on your wire guard. Then you're going to go down the other side. You're going to go through the bicone. So you're coming out of this side of that bead. You want to go to the other side because you want it to sit on that. And actually I'm going to go through a few beads because I want to secure this not just on those beads but on this big bead. So I'm just going to pass my thread through everything, all like these little beads, and let's see where, yeah, the hole's right there. So the top hole, just pass through the top hole of that bead, and we're going to do that at least one more time and try and get that nice and centered on there, perfect. So yeah, so now they're kind of moved because we only went through the one here. We're going to go through 2 of these beads, and we're going to go through the third, which is the one that the wire guard is on. That. Okay, go up through your bicone, through the channel on the, it's probably best to do it all at once. Find that channel like that. There. Go through, so we're coming out of this channel. We're going to go through this channel, through the bicone, and you can come out the bicone. We're going to go on the other side of that bead so that it stays centered. And if you pinch off your wire guard like this, that'll ensure that your thread goes right on the channel and doesn't flip over and then you have a big line crossing here. Okay, so we're going to come on this side. We're going to go through a few, and we're going to pass through the large bead so we can reinforce that, and we'll tie it off. Okay, and now I'm all tangled. Ah! We're almost there. Okay. Look at that. Haha. That's so lovely. Okay, go through a few here. I'm going to go through a few and go through the bottom hole. That'll reinforce it even more. Go through the bottom hole. This. And we're going to find a spot to put a knot. Maybe we could do a knot. Yeah, let's do a knot and pass it through the angel. So pick up a thread from a thread bridge from the angel. I'm going to loop around twice with my thread, pull it down close to where I'm going through, pull that tight, make sure that's centered, tight, go through the angel, that, and I pulled so that that knot gets hidden. This is lovely. You could put another knot in there. I don't think it's necessary. Go through. Just be careful when you're cutting not to cut any of your other threads. This is lovely. Let's put this on. So this one's closed. I'm going to open that up. That. Always put your front to your front like that. Let's open this up a bit. And there. And these are so, they're very sparkly. Oh my gosh, these are cute. This is probably on the sparkle meter. This is a 9.5. What do you think? Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed that. We'll see you in the next video. Bye. This is what it looks on the back. I should show you. So let's flip them both. But so they're lovely on the back too. Because you know what? We need to sparkle from the front and the back. Bye.